If you could only hold on.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Since its inception in 1949, Mental Health Awareness Month has been a cornerstone of addressing the challenges faced by millions of Americans living with mental health conditions. Tony, today we have Ricardo coming in to tape. Ricardo and his mom, they have been an advocate for their brother for gun violence. We have literally watched them on the Lexington News for years now. And he's going to talk about how he and his mom, how they have held it together. Does that sound exciting? Wonderful. How are you feeling today? That's what I wanted to ask. You're feeling good? Okay. So rate that. Is that 1 to 10? Oh, okay, good. I'm feeling about a 10 too. It's gloomy here though. It's drizzling, it's rainy, but that's okay. Ricardo, welcome to Holding It Together with Bonita. We are absolutely delighted to have you here with us. I have watched you and your mom, you alongside of her, on the news for years now. I actually could kind of say I watched you grow up a little bit. I've watched you alongside of your mom growing up, your mom being an advocate for gun violence. But before we get into that story, tell us a little bit about yourself and a fun fact.
So a little bit about myself is I feel like I just am drawn to people. I love to be around people. I love to help people. So growing up with my mom in my life, emphasized showing love and compassion to people. So I feel like I take pride in that, and I try to live each day kind of somewhat in remembrance of her,
Yes.
carrying those traits along with me, but also just enjoying the people that I choose to have in my life. I love them, and I try to make the most of it. And I'd say a fun fact about me is that despite what my friends say, I'm really good at basketball and football. So, yeah.
So we know you're good at football, but you're saying I'm just as good as in basketball as well.
I'm
Okay.
just as good in basketball.
You're
You
just
gotta
as
guard me.
good.
You gotta guard me.
I love that. I love that. So that's exciting to hear. And I love that you are carrying on the traits that your mom instilled in you. You know, that's one thing that our family, we love God and we love God's people. So staying present, enjoying the time, enjoying the people that you're around, that's so important to us. So I definitely understand that aspect of you. So tell us a little bit about us seeing your mom, us seeing you alongside of your mom on the news here in Lexington. You all became advocates for gun violence, but how did that start? What did that look like in your home when your mom says, I have to be the voice for my son, your brother, Antonio? What did that look like?
I remember the day, honestly. I don't think I've ever shared that before, but I remember the day we were outside of church, and my mom said something about, like, they mess with the wrong mom when you take a lioness's cub away from her.
Yes.
She's going to come back.
Yes.
And she said, I'm not going anywhere. And I remember being in the car that day, and I was just as frustrated,
Yes.
kind of confused. And I asked her, I said, why are you doing this? What is the purpose behind this?
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me and said, one of my sons is not here with me.
Yes.
You will never shut me up. You'll never shut me out. I'll find a way. And, looking back, it's been 10 years now, since the middle of April. And I look back and I always go back to that exact conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That was her why.
Yes.
We were her why.
Yes.
And no one can ever take that away from her.
Exactly.
So it made me think, because I was a sophomore in high school at the time, and I was playing football, spring ball, and I remember I had, that was the lowest I'd ever felt before. There was no loss that resembled that for me in my life, especially growing up in a single parent household, where my mom, was the dad as well too. But my brother also stepped up, and he was that male figure that I needed that kind of kept me arguing with mom, hey, straighten it up. Like, I
Right.
know she's on your nerves right now, but like, she means well and she wants to
Exactly.
do this for a better reason. So losing my brother, it took a toll on me, but I had a support system
Right.
with my football brothers and just my
Great.
friends. And I always give so much credit to them for the way that they have always rallied around me and kind of uplifted me. It's important to handle your emotions well behind closed doors and in public, but
Yes.
they were the ones that kind of, my head was down, they lifted me up, let me know that I had family, we
Yes.
can continue on, and we're still brothers today too. So
Yes.
definitely, and the whole perspective of it always wraps around back to those moments, and I'm so thankful for them for it.
That is awesome. And you need that support system. And that even brings me to, with May being Mental Health Awareness Month, you sharing, it was your football brothers that helped support you. Because oftentimes we don't take care of our mental. What does that process look like? How do we take care of our mental? Do we even know that we're affected? Yeah.
I felt like for a long time, I think when I lost my mother in 2020, February 2020, I was a senior at UK and obviously going through the rigors of being a college student, trying to get exams in. I was actually studying for a big exam the next morning when I got word that my mom that morning had kind of lost consciousness and they rushed me to the hospital. And, I look back at that and I've talked about this too, is that I probably didn't handle my emotions well at all. I probably still don't. But like at that moment, everything kind of went stale for me. And I kind of had to relearn how to love exactly because I was just afraid of allowing myself to love and then something happening to somebody. And I didn't want to lose anybody like that, but it's a part of life, and that's what I've learned. I learned how to, handle my emotions and be able to talk and express. One thing that she always told us growing up was, your voice, that's your mouthpiece. That's your way of expression. You can show expressions in different ways, but one of the easiest way to do it is through your voice. So being able to use my voice and honoring her, my brother, has been one of the greatest privileges I think I could have.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you did mention, you were in high school at the time, when your brother passed, as well as, your mother, being in college. How did you manage, those hardships, while still trying to do the things that you're obligated to do, like school?
Yeah, I truthfully don't know. I knew when I lost my mom my senior year of college, and that's exactly when COVID had hit and really kind of shut down education systems all over the world. And we went from being in person to online, and I was making great grades there. And I think one of the stories I shared too is, I had always been a good student all throughout high school, got to college, and things got harder. I had to put more effort in. One of my friends was like, "We need to go to the library," and she got me in the library and had me let's do your work, let's get it done. Because I was getting it done, but it was just getting by, and it wasn't excelling at what I did. So the day my mom had passed away, they were like, "You're still studying." I'm like, I got to make dean's list for her.
Right.
I got to show her that I'm gonna keep going regardless. And she told me one day, she said, when I'm done, and she goes, I can't go anymore. Maybe she knew, but she said, when I can't go anymore, I want you to pick up and carry the torch. She goes, the torch doesn't touch the ground. She goes, it may fall, but I want you to catch it. So to me, that was me catching that torch right before it hit the ground and kind of picking it up and carrying on with it.
Yeah, I remember I was also in college, with my dad. He had a massive heart attack. 2019, I was about 19 years old. And it was hard for me, going to school. It was a lot, staying in the hospital, hard to sleep because you're up in the hospital. So, I know how that feels, staying up, trying to make it to school, take care of those obligations.
Yeah, that's how it felt. It felt like it became, I kind of lost some of the joy out of it, but I knew at the end that I would, refine that joy. I had to focus on kind of those things that whenever I lost my brother, my friends were a great support system when I lost my mom. I remember two of my, I got two best friends, they're twin brothers,
Okay.
and they were like, Rico, how can we help you? And I'm like, I'm good, dog.
Yeah.
They didn't care about my answer. They were already
Right.
at my apartment, had something, and they just were like,
right.
that's the kind of the friendship that I think I surround myself
Yes.
with, and that's why I'm so blessed to have those kind of
Yes.
people in my life.
Yeah.
I guess I can't thank enough. I start smiling when I start talking about my friends and everything.
Exactly.
They've just done so much for me and my family as well too, because we're all in this together. And
Absolutely.
this past peace walk that we had in April really showed. I saw a family from as far as Indianapolis.
Nice.
People from
Wonderful.
Florida came, so it's like
Okay.
I know I'm doing something good here.
Yes,
ma'am.
yes. And that's what's so wonderful is I remember seeing your mom's strength,
Mhm.
being that lioness, protecting and being the voice for her cubs.
Mhm.
But then here you come. I again saw the news where your mom passed, and even though it's been years, I am so sorry for you losing your mom.
Thank you.
To then watch you in your strength and your confidence. How do you do it?
I feel like there's I go back to my support system, and it's so strong. I feel like a lot of people don't have that, and if people don't have that, I'm always here, and I'm so easy to get in contact with that. I want to talk to as many people as possible, see if I can help, run ideas off of each other. But I felt like I've been able to, kind of pick up with what my mom was doing and carry that torch because of the heart that she had raised us to have, to love people. She was a nurse. She was a nurse. So
Okay.
she grew up and she loved everyone despite who they were.
That's right.
And so seeing that growing up, also my grandmother growing up, the woman who, if she can give you some jam, she's gonna give you some jam. She just growing up in a loving family like
Yes,
that really
yes.
has, I think, molded me. So like I said, surround myself with people that want to see me succeed.
Absolutely.
One of I think the biggest blessings in my life is when I look out and I see my friends and family in different places where I see that they're succeeding. That warms my heart. Doesn't matter how much money we're all making, or
Right.
if you're happy, I'm happy for you.
Exactly.
Let's be happy together.
Let's be happy together.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
That's what I was thinking. So, like as far as doing community events, like I saw 2 weeks ago you did the violence peace walk. So like how is that? Like, like getting everyone together and, organizing something like that.
So I had the pleasure of watching from behind the scenes my mom do it for a few years. And it started to grow, and I think she'd be so proud about just the turnout that we've had the last several years. Since she's passed away, since I've taken over it, gotten like a stage area so people can see. She had a loud voice, so she was, don't be too mad, I was just mad about that. She had a loud voice, but so she didn't need a microphone, but we kind of we try to make it feel like it's a day in the park. So it's been 10 years since my brother was shot and killed in that very exact park. And we go back there, and I kind of like switched the feeling. My mom did this, but we kind of executed it a little differently. I wanted it to feel like we were in a park, like it's a family reunion, kickback,
Yes.
cookout, like kind of feel like there is no obligation other than to come here and to feel good. We have kids playing on the playground, face painting going on, bouncy houses. We serve food. We're playing music. I got Beyonce on. I love this. I'm enjoying myself here. But it takes a lot of work, reaching out to people, making sure people are there, getting speakers, getting community resources there. I think what makes that peace walk so different than a lot of other peace walks is that we have a community resource fair component to that. At my mom's very first peace walk, about 10 days after Tony had been shot and killed, she only had one resource table, and I think this year we had about 32.
Oh,
So it's like
nice.
over the course of time, more people are buying in, and one day we want to see where the park is like, it's big.
Yeah,
like you can't, like
right.
people are still not at the park. We want it
Yes,
that big.
Yes.
And we really want people to know that like this isn't just like it's an event for all survivors. Everyone's welcome, but it's also an event for our community. It's not just
Right.
about that. It's just we want people to come together to say that we care about this cause, we care about this event, and we care about you. We care about our neighbors, people that we don't know or may meet. So it's like really something that we want to keep pushing out there. I'm not going to go away anytime soon. So it's like. And even if I were to go away, I'll come back for this event because I love it so much. And getting to honor, again, my mom and my brother is such an important thing for me and my family. So it's something that we want to see keep growing.
That's good. Yeah, and that's so funny that you said like your mom has a loud voice. Cause like my dad, he has a super loud voice, but I'm naturally quiet. But since like he's been disabled and stuff, I've definitely come into like being louder, not really being shy. So how is it for you? Like, are you naturally quiet?
People say I'm always quiet. I think me and my brother are pretty quiet together. We're just mellow. Even my sister as well too. We're just like, we're just real mellow and chill.
Right.
We'll talk obviously,
Yeah.
but my sister's probably a little bit more introverted than me. I'll get in front of a crowd and speak. I always have this saying, they're either going to film me or not. So it's like, if they film me, they film me. If not,
Right,
they
that's
don't.
true.
Right.
But I do love getting to interact with other people, getting to meet new people. I feel like it helps me grow and mature just as an individual myself, but it also allows people to hear my voice. Like I said earlier, I get to spread my message and my words, so there's nothing more powerful than that.
That's right.
So if like other people want to partner with you or like have a table, like how can they reach out to you?
So they always can contact me at the sheriff's office, give me a call down there and ask for me there. Social media might be an easier route if you don't want to call the sheriff's office down there, just because it just gets calls all over the place. I'm always looking for my desk down there. But reaching me on social media, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I think that's all of them.
Right.
But yeah, I'm easy to contact, and I love to partner with anybody. If I can, especially this, there's so many people that come to my events. If I can help by coming or promoting an event of someone else's, I love doing that because I want to see their events get the same turnout as an event of mine, to have that same support no matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's something new, like giving away food, if it's another peace walk, I'll be there. I love being able to attend events like that to see how I can help and contribute to other successes as well too.
Yeah. And we will definitely be supporting you. My husband and I, we had an At Risk for Youth outreach, and every weekend, not just one night, but 2 days, a Friday night and a Saturday, we provided a safe space for youth. Why? Because that's generally when something happens. They get into something that they shouldn't get into. So Friday night would be food, not potato chips. I'm talking spaghetti.
And I remember being little, like going into Sam's with them. And like getting, one night was like tacos. They would be getting, ground turkey, sour cream.
And I was cooking. We were cooking in the kitchen, providing that food. Or pizza. Sometimes we would, have 1,000 pizzas. But providing that safe space. The next day, Saturday, we took them to the roller rink, skating. So I understand, and we will definitely be there to support you. Sorry we missed it.
Oh, that's fine.
We just missed it.
We just missed it.
But yeah, we're excited for you. It's exciting to see how you've grown, how you're supporting, and you're carrying that torch. That's awesome. But even before we conclude,
during it was my sophomore year at UK. Since like my dad, at that time my dad was in the hospital, like he was in ICU. So, and I think it was like second semester, during midterms, during tests. So yeah, that was super hard. Super hard time for me. And I did get through like the testing part. But then, like, once it was done, I was, like, totally exhausted emotionally and just drained. So I took a break during that time, dropped out, and then finished my degree online.
That's good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And one thing, we laugh about now. You know, of course, we would rise early. They would head off to school, and you know, the hospital being right there at UK, I would be up with my husband, and I would look up thinking it's a nurse or a doctor. It's Antoinette.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, I just need to see my dad. You know, and I
because you know,
understand.
usually like the
Yeah.
period in between classes, usually you just sit down, chill if it's a
Yeah.
regular day. But during that time, like, let me go check on my dad.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't want to have any regrets, so
Right.
I'm gonna use my time, you know, to go
Yeah.
see him. Yeah.
I feel like if I had the opportunity to do that, I would have done the same thing. I remember when we went to the hospital that morning, and I remember when that chaplain came in and like shared the news with us, and I remember looking around the room. I had my I think it was biology or not biology, anatomy out. Like I was studying the body, I'm like, oh, this is. And then I looked around the room, and I think my sister, she had broke down, and my grandma was crying. I just knew right then and there that I had to be, I had to be there for them, and you know, there's nothing more powerful than family and love. So it was just like I just knew, and we got a group message in my sister, and my grandmother always talking in it, and we're always gonna be there with each other, for each other. So it's been, like I said, it's been really great to have such a community. And I didn't share this, but my mom, she had just worked in the sheriff's office. I have had the opportunity to see what she saw, her vision, her dream. There's so many places where I go that I think that I'm just like, oh, I'm in Kroger. I can go get my groceries. I want to spend this money and get it. But then someone's like, you don't remember me. But your mom, hey cousin. I'm like, hey, I don't know what's going on. But I think it just, having a village that people cared about me, kind of just really pushed me to want to be good for them, want to be special for them, and knowing that people enjoy my presence also just kind of means doing something right, I guess.
Yes, you are. And tell me this, do you see your mom passing that torch as now a burden or your purpose? How do you stand in that?
I think early on, I probably viewed it as probably like, oh, mom, why'd you do this? But I definitely do feel like it gave me kind of some purpose, especially right after college as well too. It was just like a weird transitional, like, I've known the school for the last several years, and here I am, like, into the adult world, having to do this. But I feel like every just step, every key moment in my life kind of prepared me for these moments, and I think she did a good job with it. As
you know, one of our episodes, how God orders your steps. You know, you're wondering, what is this about? But then later you go, oh, I see.
What year did you graduate from UK?
2020, in that COVID year, whenever they sent everyone home. So it was May 2020.
Okay, that's good. Because, like, even once I took a break from UK, and even though I went back online, I still took, I think it was like a year and a half. So that's good that you finished.
It definitely was hard to finish that last semester because it was online. Like, it was completely new. And I know the next year, following, most of the students were still kind of like, is in person, but a lot of it was online. Very hard to kind of get a hang of that, because you went from seeing your professors 2 to 3 times a week, meeting, and I was a senior, so I was meeting like small groups and stuff like that, to now everything's online. So it was very difficult to kind of like, my to-do list for school was this long. It was like I had a lot to do, but made it happen, and getting that dean's list is something I hold, like, I'm like, you did that, you know, like you really kind of throughout everything that was going on, everything that was wrong with the world, and in my life, it was like you focused in on something, you went and got it. So then I just kind of carried that with everything. Like, you want something, go get it. Do what you got to do to get it done.
Absolutely. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure having you here. I was determined And God made it so because literally once I was telling Antoinette and Josh, you remember the young man? And there you appeared on the television. So
yeah, she was like, do you guys remember his name? And we have Josh, we have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. But then you were talking about your peace walk, so she was like, oh, great.
Here he is, right?
Yeah.
He's on the news, right? So it was divine.
Yes.
It definitely worked out. So happy to have you here. But we just wanted to have you here to see how you held on and how you're still holding on, holding on to that torch
Yes, sir.
as your mom passed it on, So it's been a pleasure to have you here and a blessing.
So thank you for
Yeah.
having me.
Absolutely.
If you could only hold on.
Josh, you big now.